The record shows we took the blows and we did it our way, not their way, our way. And our way is going forward quite a staggering pace at the moment. Yes, there will be bumpy rides. You can't expect a control system that heavily laden with secrecy and compartmentalisation and fraud and criminality to all be dealt with in one smooth swipe. It will go on for quite a considerable time. But now that the trust, all of it got verified by all of the departments, the US Treasury, Department of Justice, the White House, etc., etc. Once we get over this final hurdle of World Bank, IMF, Rothschilds threatening banks, then the funds will be released. Then the fun and games really starts. Now, this has just come in. All the insolvent banks, as prior mentioned, the American insolvent banks, have now been called in to the Department of Treasury tomorrow for an emergency meeting. I suspect we may get a lot of good news following that meeting. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have another show tomorrow, which will please some. Once the funds are released, from time to time I've come up with solutions that I feel need to be addressed so people can think on themselves and maybe come up with their own ideas. It's all designed to get people thinking on the different subjects and the aspects of life that need to be changed. When Kim started the trust, it was designated that there's 489 different aspects of life that has to be improved or changed or deleted one way or the other. Now, one of the things I would like, and we seriously need to look at here in America once the funds are released, is the hidden epidemic of health-related issues in this country. Many people have ignored going to the doctor or the hospitals due to fear of or the ridiculous costs that are associated with it. And the same applies to dental care. Now, part of the problem we face with this is the middle and top men issues. The middlemen brokering deals for medicines and supplies that creams money off the sale of the items, and the top people, shareholders, also creaming money out of the system when they do very little to contribute to it. I would love to know what percentage of each item goes to these two groups of what are essentially vampiric entities. I would imagine it's quite high. Now, in a world of over-bloated government, I'm hesitant to add to that list of government tasks. So what I would like to see is something that is set up that runs concurrent with the government only in the role of oversight in some way. All of our essential basic needs in life, like food, water, clothing, health-related and energy, in my opinion, should not be a shareholder-based or middlemen-based operations. All of them. Maybe we should look at setting up a people's cooperative to run these essential services for and by the people only. These are our lifeblood services and should not be used as profit-based entities. Now, I'm not against making profits, but the profit should be in line with making the essentials in life affordable to all. Not everything has to be enormous profit-based. That is greed, not need. And these excessive profits leads to fat-cat business people. And where there is an excess, it means there's a shortage at the opposite end of the scale, which means the workers. Hence, the $500,000 a year shareholders pay and minimum wage for the people who are keeping the company running. That has to stop. But when a society relies on its government for all essential services, it will always mean we are slaves. When the people take their own responsibility for their lives and cooperate, not compete, then we control our own destiny and freedom. I would like all of you to think on how that can be implemented. As the reality is, if we're waiting for the government to implement anything, we'll all be in our graves. The sad reality is the government has been used as puppets for too long. They have no idea how life works, no idea how the financial system works, or the needs of society. Essentially, they're just walking, programmed bots. Now, there may be a lot of good people in politics. Where have they been? Did they have the courage to step out? Clearly not, because none of what's going on, of the disclosures all around the world on so many levels of society, has come from politicians. It came from us. We drove this movement, and that's what happens with people power. The biggest fear of the cabal, the order, the elite, all the parents and covens and all those clowns, is the people rising up because they can't handle it. And this is what's happening. So we have to take more responsibility. We have to do more. We have to act more. We also have to think different. If you're expecting Trump and the government to fix everything for you, you'll have an awful long wait. We are the only ones that will fix this. We are the only ones that will come up with the right ideas to push not only this country but every other country forward in a better way. They can't even do their own jobs, never mind start new ones. The lack of support that Kim and the team have had from government officials and agencies and military is staggeringly small. They all sit there counting their dinars that are never going to get paid out. You might as well shove them all in the kids' Monopoly game. Same value. Another issue that needs to be addressed and looked at, and some people won't agree with this, and that's fine, come up with a different solution, is the patent issues. It needs to be resolved and categorised in different ways. Again, that needs to come out of the control of the government and the military and the deep state and back towards the public. But that means we have to step into those roles. Now, should a patent be part of an essential need for the public, then those patents need to be fast-tracked for release going forward. Whether it's the technology that the SSP have got, or the technology of people all over the world with health machines and free energy devices, you name it. If they're proven to work and to exist, they should be fast-tracked. But I would like to see the patent holder given a one-off payment to cover the costs of their time, plus an agreed extra maybe 10 to 20%. And then that patent belongs to the people and not the government or the military sharks. This is showing an example of being a cooperative and not competitive mindset. You know, there's many patent holders who don't go in it for the money, they just do it out of the passion. But there are too many who want to become the next Richard Branson or Elon Musk, where it's all about getting rich. But getting filthy rich means there's an imbalance in the system, and it creates low wages and poverty at the other end. I think we've all had enough of that. Now, most people collect money like it's going out of fashion, and the reason they do, sadly, is because it's all born out of fear. Fear they won't have enough for the children's college. Fear they won't have enough if they have an accident, injury or a disaster happens. Or the biggest fear is they won't have enough in retirement. All of it based on fear. That's what money brings, fear. If money was the be-all and end-all, why are all the top people, the 1%, all psychopathic? Wouldn't you think it would make them happy going around with fancy toys and gadgets? No, they went psychotic. Now, we've all participated in the money scheme. We have to. But the fear of not having it is damaging to your psyche. And that's something that we, as the Trust, will hopefully eradicate within a short period of time once all these clowns are brought down. But the point is, why do we do it? Is this the way life should be, where we're all just existing in life and existing in fear? We may or may not reach the promised land, as it's called, but we will never reach it handing over responsibility to think tank groups ran by the greedy, service to self psychopaths intent on harvesting everything for themselves. We'll only do it by us all standing up and saying we're not taking what you're offering. We're just not. The power and the choice was always in our hands. We just forgot. We've forgotten far too much. And we need to let fear go. The minute there's a story at the bank, people go into fear mode. Oh, what about my money? It's not helpful. As Kim said last week, there's only two modes in life: fear and love. Which one are you going to be? Are you going to stay in fear all your life, or are you going to be in love all your life? Whether that be with a partner, your children, or just life in general, comes down to your choice.